13,000 feet below the surface, there is no sun. There is no photosynthesis. For decades, science told us that without light, there can be no new oxygen. In the abyss, life doesn't create air, it only consumes it. At 4,000 meters deep, the pressure is 400 times higher than at sea level. But in the Clarion-Clipperton Zone of the Pacific, the sensors started doing something impossible. They weren't seeing oxygen disappear. They were seeing it appear, out of thin water. Deep-sea explorers have just discovered dark oxygen. And the source isn't a plant or a microbe. It's the rocks themselves. Natural geobatteries sitting on the seafloor, literally splitting water molecules apart. This is Magellan. And today, we reveal the battery at the bottom of the world. The discovery was led by Professor Andrew Sweetman. For nearly a decade, he and his team ignored the data. They assumed the equipment was broken. After all, science said this was a physical impossibility. But years of repeated tests confirmed a singular, shocking truth. Every time they sealed a chamber on the seafloor, the oxygen levels inside went up. To understand why this is so strange, look at the surface. Without sunlight, the chemical engine of life shouldn't be able to start. Sweetman stopped questioning his sensors and started questioning the rocks. He brought the nodules to the surface, and what he found inside changed everything. These weren't just stones. They were complex, multi-layered energy cells. Sweetman's team took the nodules to Northwestern University to test a wild hypothesis. Could a rock, sitting at the bottom of the ocean for millions of years, carry an electrical charge? The screen flickered. 0.95 volts. Pause. Nearly the power of a standard AA battery. These rocks are built like an onion. Layer upon layer of rare metals, grown around a tiny fragment of bone or shell. This layered structure acts as a natural capacitor, storing energy across the metallic boundaries. One nodule is curious, but trillions of them together. That's a global power plant. When these nodules touch, they can connect in a series, potentially doubling or tripling their voltage. This is where the physics of the abyss becomes warfare. The electrical potential of the rocks is high enough to literally rip the oxygen away from the hydrogen. This is where the physics of the abyss becomes warfare. This is dark oxygen, a hidden atmosphere created by the Earth itself. The CCZ stretches for millions of square kilometers. It is the most mineral-rich place on our planet. We used to think this was a desert, a barren wasteland of stone. But we were looking at the lungs of the deep. Meet the ghost octopus. It doesn't just live here. It relies on these batteries to survive. These creatures have evolved to breathe the oxygen, harvested by the rocks they sleep on. But the very metals that create this oxygen are now the most hunted materials in human history. Cobalt, nickel, manganese, the ingredients for our green future. We have a choice to make. And the clock is ticking. Our world is hungry for a green revolution. We need millions of batteries to save our atmosphere. But these metals are rare. On land, mining them is destructive, expensive, and often involves human rights violations. That's why the eyes of the world have turned to the abyss. Engineering firms are launching deep-sea vacuum systems designed to suck up the nodules by the millions. For industry, this is the greatest treasure map in history. Trillions of dollars in metal, just lying on the floor. But there is a fatal flaw in the plan. We aren't just mining stones. We are unplugging the life support system of the deep ocean. The mining process creates massive silt plumes, toxic clouds of dust that can travel for hundreds of miles. These plumes don't stay at the bottom. They rise, potentially poisoning the global food chain. Governments are currently locked in a legal war over who owns the abyss. It is a 21st century gold rush, but the stakes are biological. This is a ghost octopus nest. This species only lays its eggs on these metallic batteries. No nodules means no next generation for these deep-sea residents. It's a paradox. Do we destroy the ocean floor to save the sky? Can a car truly be green if its battery was built on the extinction of the abyss? These rocks take millions of years to grow. Once they are gone forever. But the mystery of dark oxygen doesn't just stop at our planet. If Earth's rocks can breathe, then the universe just got much louder. Next, we look at the cosmic geobattery and the search for life on other worlds. If oxygen can be created in the total darkness of our abyss, it changes everything we know about the universe. Take Europa, an ice-encrusted moon orbiting Jupiter, with an ocean twice the size of all of Earth's combined. Take Europa, an ice-encrusted moon orbiting Jupiter, with an ocean twice the size of all of Earth's combined. But if Europa's seafloor is lined with geobatteries, the ice moon could be breathing. It means the habitable zone for life isn't just near the sun. It's anywhere with the right chemistry and a bit of voltage. This discovery has completely pivoted the mission goals for NASA's next decade of exploration. We are no longer looking for plants. We are looking for the battery signature of a living planet. This also forces us to look backward, at our own origin story. We used to believe that cyanobacteria, tiny plants, were the sole reason Earth became breathable. But what if the rocks were breathing, long before the first plant was born? The geobattery might be the missing link. The spark that gave life its first breath in the darkness. We are finding life forms today that don't just use this oxygen. They are tuned to its specific electrical frequency. It's a rhythmic, hidden pulse. A biological heartbeat made of metal and seawater. This is the most complex machine on Earth. And we almost destroyed it before we even knew it existed. The battle for the abyss is no longer just about profit. It's about our identity as a species. Do we sacrifice the ancient batteries of the deep to power the temporary batteries in our pockets? Every breath you take today might owe a debt to a rock 4 kilometers below your feet. We are Magellan. We map the unseen. We tell the stories that nature kept secret for eons. The choice is ours. But once the dark oxygen stops, we may never be able to turn it back on. Subscribe to stay at the edge of discovery. The abyss is finally speaking. Are you listening?